Welcome into Sports Idiot Nation. Today is Monday, October 27th, and today we're going to find out in college football who are the contenders and pretenders out of the undefeated. Also, it's only week one of the NBA, and fantasy basketball is already putting money in my pocket. And in the NFL, honestly, we don't know a lot, but one thing we do know.
Cowboys still suck. Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots.
This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. Welcome back, sinners. This is Season 2 of Sports Idiot Nation.
Welcome into Sports Idiot Nation. New episodes come to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. As always, it is I, Adam Marino, joined by Mr. T.I., who has become the heel of the Tennessee Titans, as they are not tightening up anything. And that is,
loose.
You know,
very loose. They're very loose right now.
Loosey-goosey.
That's right. It's like a couple drinks after prom night. You know what I mean? Very loose. Very loose.
Yep. Our teams both lost.
Yeah, but your
team's chagrin as well.
Your team is still good, though. You know, you just get a lot of
decimated.
Injuries.
Yeah, we are truly decimated.
We got a lot of injuries too. But even when those players weren't injured, we were still bad. So, or as the kids these days say, we ass. We were ass. We still ass.
Allegedly.
Going to continue to be ass. If ands or ass about it.
So speaking of that, let's start with Dallas. A very fun subject. You like that segue?
Brilliant segue.
Don't try this at home, kids.
So we didn't even rehearse that. That was really good.
We talked about on Friday's program that was one of the intriguing matchups. Just, not trying to give props too much to Dallas, but like Dak Prescott has actually been pretty good. And I look up in fantasy and I'm facing him this week. And what does he do? No touchdowns, less than 200 yards passing, and 2 picks. Thank you. Chef's kiss. Just love it.
Chef's kiss of death.
Yeah, I love to see it. Man, I thought that this game was going to be way closer. I didn't think Dallas would give up. I mean, their defense isn't what is keeping them in games. We mentioned it was Dak Prescott, but 44 points is not what I had on the bingo card. I didn't have them losing by 20 points. Also, here's what I didn't have on my bingo card as I pull up my fantasy team. It is well documented, those of you that are into the fantasy of football, that Jake Ferguson has been a very good tight end, as it was National Tight Ends Day yesterday. Shout out to George Kittle. He at least got a touchdown. 0 points. 0. Goose egg. I had 0 myself. And I am not on a member of an NFL team. So Ferguson completely screwed me. It is 76-73. I am up 3 points. I have Pacheco going tonight, and he has Harrison Butker, a woman's nightmare. Every woman hates Harrison Butker, and the Washington Commander defense. I have the Colts defense. They did score me 7 points as they tightened up. So it gives me a 43% chance of winning and him a 57%. I'm up 3 with Pacheco to go.
Harrison Buckner, he very, the motto Harrison Buckner, a lot of people, want to say let him cook, but his motto is let her cook. Let her cook. He would have fit in well, back in the day, he would fit in well. But in today's modern society, hey, women got to do some stuff. They got to do some things other than cooking and making babies. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I feel you on that one. That one's a little tough. I do like Mr. Isaiah. I think that the
And he could go for 2 tutties. Look, he could,
yes,
and then I'm good.
absolutely.
And I'm probably good then.
Mahomes is not the kind of guy that when you get down to 5 or the 10 that he's going to try to run it in. Like they're going to keep feeding.
He can
Andy
catch
Reid's
it.
gonna keep
Pacheco
feeding
can
him.
catch it or run it.
The only problem with that is, and this is a strategy that I like to employ a lot. If I am not married to my kicker, if my kicker is not in the kitchen cooking, if I'm not married to my kicker and my opponent has a player that can score, I often will drop my kicker, and if that kicker is available, I'll pick them up. Not always the case, obviously, but in any given fantasy league, there's going to be 10 to 12 kickers at least on the waiver, right? So that's your problem there, is that your rushing touchdowns automatically are deducted by 1 because he has the extra point. So that is a wild card for you. But
it is tough.
The Washington defense, they're starting Mariota. So it doesn't mean that he can't score. It just doesn't mean that I think it'd be a little lower scoring than it would be possibly with Daniels, even though Daniels has been up and down. So I think you still have a chance. I think you got a good chance there. I wouldn't necessarily chalk it up as an L just yet. I think you have just as good a chance to win it, but it's going to be a little dicey, man. But that's, I like those games, man. I like those games where the Monday night game that you have no interest in watching other than just being a football fan actually has some kind of meaning to it.
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
My gut tells me you're going to pull it out, man. That's kind of what I think.
I've been good at pulling out my entire life. No kids that I know of.
It's not what I heard. It's not what I heard. I heard there's a lot of them out there. They just haven't found you yet,
Yeah, well, I ain't hard to find. Although Dion is hard to find in the win column, but we'll get into college football later.
I do have Mr. Fergie myself on one of my squads. Luckily, it looks like I'm going to pull that dub out, just because I have a pretty good team on there. My running back, both my running backs have good days. I got HN and I got Derrick Henry. I've got Josh Allen as my QB. So I had a pretty good day there.
Derrick Henry, dude, let me ask you this. You mentioned Derrick Henry. I want to ask you this real quick. If you were to walk up to a random guy on the street and ask him who has more touchdowns, Walter Payton or Derrick Henry, I feel like you're going to say Walter Payton, and you would be incorrect.
Yeah, I think anybody
That's
who has never been a Titans fan would say Walter Payton. But if you've been a Titans fan, you know that man has been a touchdown machine. And then last season in Baltimore, he's a touchdown machine.
But dude, the sweetness, that doesn't seem right.
The game.
I saw that. It's impressive.
It is, but the game has changed a lot since Walter Payton. I mean, a prime Walter Payton in today's league would probably be flirting with those LaDainian Tomlinson numbers, I mean,
yeah.
As long as he didn't play for the Bears, as long as he played for another team, not the Bears, In today's
Walter Payton would be like Bijan Robinson and Christian McCaffrey if you would like smush their faces together and just make them one human. That's Walter Payton. I feel like that's a pretty good running back.
They're kind of like those animorphs back in the day,
Like,
it's like,
Yeah, that's a pretty good running back. But I saw that stat and I was like, okay, Derrick, like King Henry, I guess.
Well, before we give the Cowboys, put them to bed,
We already did.
I have to talk about this quote from Jerry Jones. I don't know if you've seen it, where he's talking about that he just it's something out of his SNL skit. He's like, I just feel like we're just really one player away on defense, and I'm not opposed to making a trade, and I'm just like, you mean the guy
in Green Bay?
You mean the guy that you had that would have made the difference in the Denver game? Like,
here's what's funny about that. We joke all the time on your Titans Idiot Nation page and Sports Idiot Nation and in the group chat. Whenever a former player of a team has a good game and you say, boy, and then type in former team, boy, former team could use a player like former name, whether it's AJ Brown with the Titans or Micah Parsons or whatever it is. And we say that always in jest, and we are completely having fun with it, joking. But for an owner to give us the meme without us needing to like try, that's when you know, like, dude, that's like roll
I
your eyes
mean,
level Dallas
I was
Cowboys.
I was just last night, when you and I were texting about we're gonna hop on, I was finishing up dinner and I'm like, really? Like, did Jerry Jones really say this? Like, is this is not real, right? Sure enough, he did. I'm not going to rule out a possible trade. Who are you going to trade for? All right, what are you trying to get? Myles Garrett? Myles Garrett just
Hey,
set
5 sacks.
set a career high with 5
Pretty
sacks.
good
Like,
player. Yeah,
yeah, he
pretty good player.
doesn't want to be in Cleveland, but they just paid him buku's dollars. The same buku's dollars you could have paid Micah Parsons. But I don't know, man. I think. But then again, man, we talked about. I think this boiled down to Micah just not wanting to be there, not gelling with Jerry.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, because it doesn't matter the amount of money. If you're not feeling the owner, man, and somebody else is offering you anything close to what they're offering, you're out.
So here's the thing with Denver's offense: over 400 yards. They only punted twice.
Ooh.
They were over 50% on third down. You know what could help all those categories that I just said? A pass rush, someone who gets to the, it's like
Yeah.
those are literally the stats that you got to look at. And look, I'm not a Cowboy fan. I'm just an idiot. And even I can see that and be like, where it's like, I think the Dallas coaches also have the same info that I have. It's on the internet. A little place I call the internet, is where I found those stats.
Get on your grandparents out there call it the Google machine.
Yeah. So it's like, come on, like you have it right there,
No, man. I mean, couldn't happen to a worse team. I mean, couldn't happen to a worse.
Couldn't
team.
happen to a worse guy. Yeah.
My favorite part though is when you're wearing your Niners shirt and you're like, I mean, look, I'm not a Cowboys fan. Like, we clearly understand.
We get that. Yes,
we get
totally
that.
Get
yes,
that.
we do. But I mean, he could have that guy that kept sacking Aaron Rodgers last night. Like, he could use him. Instead, he's
wow.
And that's another thing. I mean, how do you trade him? How do you trade him to the team that literally owns you in the playoffs?
That's the other thing too. Like, what are you doing? That's a team you're gonna face. Like, if things go well, that's a team that you have to assume. It's just hilarious that that's real. We're not making something up. This isn't the sports memery. This is legit. This is real life. That's what makes it hilarious. So, hey, speaking of hilarious, Cincinnati Bengals. Is that a segue?
Oh,
I think we have another segue, because just when you are not tired yet of making fun of the Jets, now it's like, I guess we got to stop. They got their dub. They got it in. So now it's like, all right, I guess we rip on the team that beat them. Like,
I love these. You've probably seen them. I know that you see them pop up all the time. They are owned by, God, what is it? It's not Sportskeeda, but it's another page, but it's kind of the same thing. Oh, Clutch Points. I'm sure you've seen Clutch Points. Okay. So Clutch Points, you see these pages, Ravens Nation, Niners Nation, Cowboys Nation, right?
Yep,
you go
of course.
you go and check their URLs. They're all Clutch Points, right? And they're all AI driven. They're all 100% AI driven. Their stories are AI. You can just read their posts. You can tell they are. All their images are AI. I think they have a graphic designer of some kind who feeds the prompts, but it's clearly all AI. And just last week, after the Bengals, Joe Flacco had his big game. There is this post like the Bengals are putting the league on notice and letting them know that they're not done yet. And it's this whole diatribe of nonsense, And it's like, cue the SpongeBob meme, 1 week later, and losing to the worst team in football.
No,
so like it's just
500 yards later. That's how much they gave up, over 500 yards to the Jets after their owner said that their quarterback ain't him. And then and then Justin Fields admitted that he was crying on his, like, he was like in a fetal position at home crying. Did you see that press conference? He goes, I'm going to be real vulnerable. I'm going to be real vulnerable. I swear, I'm not making this up. I'm not sports memering you.
I know you're not.
This is real.
I mean, my God. Like, please, Justin Fields, what are you? Oh my God, I'm surprised he wasn't like.
He did a Tua. No,
Finley,
you don't admit you can't see him. No. You don't
all,
admit that you're short.
God, one like equals 5 prayers for Justin Fields. That's what I feel like he's doing there. Oh my God.
Hey, you don't need
Please
to pray for him. He already got his dub. He already got his dub.
$5 to my Venmo. Like, my God.
So maybe Flacco's not the answer. I don't know.
Well, I mean, anytime you trade for a 41-year-old quarterback who's on his 7th team, it might not work out for you. It just might not work out for you. No matter how good or bad or mediocre or up and down the quarterback is, there's just a game. There's a part of this game called youth. Justin Fields may have been in the fetal position, but he is still a lot younger, a lot more mobile. And they proved it. Got the 2-point when they needed it. Brees Hall just said on
that was a crazy play.
Said on this program just last week that Brees Hall is a special player and he doesn't deserve to be on that team. And once again, he proved it in that game.
Totally redeem yourself.
Yeah.
Just when I think sorry. You couldn't
so sorry. My friend was mistaken. The town is that way. We just got to keep our eyes out, Harry. Someday we're going to get lucky.
Man. Someday we're going to have 500 yards in a game against Cincinnati Bungles in their backyard.
Yeah, I don't know. The Bengals, I feel like the Bengals have a lot of problems beyond the fact that Joe Burrow's not playing. Even when Joe Burrow's there, he's been hurt a lot. I don't know if that nucleus is going to work. I don't know if the Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow thing's going to ever do what it needs to do. And I wonder if it gets broken up next year. I'm pretty sure T. Higgins is gone. He's not a superstar by any means, but you give him the right quarterback, he's still going to produce. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. He could wind up with your boys out there in San Fran, man. He'd make a good fit for Brock Purdy or Mac Jones or whoever is going to be next year. I assume it'll be Brock Purdy for a while.
Right.
But hey, man, it's like we talked about. You said, how do you want to play Houston? Do you want them with momentum or do you want them losing? You kind of wanted them coming in losing, and they did come in losing, and they got you. I only saw it from about late third quarter on because my kiddo's soccer tournament, we stopped on the way back about halfway and had lunch, and I opted for a restaurant that has lots of TVs and mini taps of beer. And I was able to watch football. Although I will say they stuck us in the back room and they had North Carolina women's volleyball on. And hey, I am a male. There's nothing wrong with women's volleyball, but not when I'm trying to watch football on Sunday. So I requested to be moved, and I was put in the center of the room, and I had everything. I had the plethora. I had the Jets. Had the Niners over here. I had everything I needed. I had the Giants over there with that awful injury to Scattaboo. It was.
Gosh, yeah. That was rough too.
But man, sorry about your loss. At least you're not Titans. You're doing fine.
Yeah, we're still have a winning team overall. But yeah, we didn't make enough plays. We didn't have enough players to make the plays. Honestly, I mean, injuries
I know you and your boy Johnny Dell joke about it a lot. Well, maybe you don't really joke. You guys are more serious, but the strength and conditioning has got to improve there or something. I don't know what it is.
No, it's like not funny. It's like not
dumb
funny.
luck. Maybe it's just dumb luck. I don't know.
Well,
man.
I mean, how often, at some point, you can't say it's dumb luck is what we've said on the Johnny Dell show. It's like, at some point, you got to look at, okay, what kind of stretching are you doing? Why are we getting players back so quickly? Why are we doing this? We really do have to look at that. It's very, very annoying, obviously. I mean, to still have a good game plan, and it's like, you feel bad for Robert Saleh. Get him a pass rusher. Get him someone healthy that can rush the passer, because when he has guys, not one person that knows football or watches football or likes football would say, oh, Robert Saleh, he ain't it, as far as a defensive coordinator. I mean, could you imagine if I said, hey, dude, the Titans are going to get Robert Saleh? What, you would flip out.
Well, as long as he's our DC. I'm not so sure if he's still.
No, head coach, not head coach. No.
He had his shot. It didn't work out too well.
No, I mean defensive coordinator, for sure.
For sure.
You would flip out. You would turn from heel and you would be back to a praiser of the Titans. Like, you would go back like that. So
Yeah.
it's like you got to get him some healthy guys,
Well,
though.
maybe you guys can count on the Cowboys this next draft to draft a player, develop him, build him up into a top 5
Ship
at
him
his
over.
position, and then trade him to you guys.
Right after we beat them in the playoffs the previous year, which we've done in the last 5 years twice. So it is a possibility.
I mean, all their playoff losses the last 5 years are either you guys or the Packers, and then they're just out here wheeling and dealing. And
The
like,
way
here
it
you go,
should be.
here you go.
Just take them, yeah.
Jerry Jones is drawing his
Here's
little
a
pit,
guy.
scribbling in the meeting. Jerry Jones reminds me a lot. Like, I know we joke about, I call him, Weekend at Jerry's, like Weekend at Bernie's, but he also reminds me like of the way that South Park portrays Saddam Hussein, like when they're talking. Hey guy, nice guy. Hey guy,
Come on, Saddam. Don't be like that, Saddam.
Saddam. That's every time I hear Jerry talk, that's what I think. It's like,
Jerry, don't be like that.
oh, come on, Micah. Oh, Micah, come on, sit down, Micah. Come on, sit down with me. Let me rub your belly, Micah.
It's Michael. Remember?
Yeah, Michael. Yeah, Michael Parsons.
He called him
Michael
Michael.
Parsons.
Like,
My God,
dude,
man.
Get out of here.
I mean, maybe Micah is so petty that was the tipping point for him when he called him Michael. He was like, "All right, I'm coolly out of here. He doesn't even know my name. I'm literally the best player that maybe this team has outside of CeeDee Lamb, and he doesn't even know my name."
Yeah, dude.
Crazy.
What? Yeah. I want to actually shift to some round ball, but before we do,
This is your question of the week.
all right, yeah, so question of the week, super quick. We will answer the question on Friday as we have been doing. So, question of the week, TI, is what is your biggest sports take that you believed with all your might that was crazy and did not work out even a little bit? So what was the biggest joke of a sports take that you believed that you are willing to admit? So we will answer that on Friday. Be thinking of that. And I will give you my hint that what sparked me thinking about it to bring it up right now was when you talked about going to eat and that you were watching North Carolina volleyball. So there's a hint right there, but we will answer that on Friday. We are shifting to the NBA.
Little foreshadowing there.
A little foreskin and the foreshadow.
If we have our true followers watching, they already know the answer to that one.
So no, they're clueless. They're a bunch of idiots. So here are the way too early. I like doing this. Please don't at me or come for me at the comments. I know it's way too early. But guys, we have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. What else do you want us to talk about? The NBA just started. We're going to have some fun and do things that are way, 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 way too early. So don't at me. But we're going to play undefeated and who is winless and who can break out of it the quicker. Or the quicker. Hi, Grammar. Nice to meet you. The quickest. Who can come out of this the quickest? So the teams
which way did you go? Which way did you go?
Which way did the grammar go? I don't know.
You went that way.
It always works because, well, yeah, it's Sports Idiot Nation. What do you want? There's no way we're Mike Greenberg or anything.
We have the beauty in a platform to where it's like, it doesn't matter what we talk about. It doesn't matter if we mess up. It doesn't matter if we even give asinine predictions because, I mean, that's what the true analysts do, except they don't have the ability to be stupid. They don't have the ability to mess up. They just do it on purpose because that's just who they are. They're just incompetent. But that's
we don't have the ability. We don't have the ability. It's just our personality.
Yeah,
on Sports Idiot Nation.
That's right.
And scene.
Hey,
there you go. There's our Instagram reel.
Listen here, viewers. My eyes are up here. All right. Appreciate my personality.
Yeah. All right. So the teams who have not won, there's only two. Or no, sorry. In the NBA, the teams that have not won, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here are the teams who have not won: the Houston Rockets, the Indiana Pacers, my pick to click, the Pelicans, the Nets, and the Celtics. So those are the teams who have not lost or who have not won, and these are the teams who have not lost. There are 4 of them. Surprising is the Sixers. The Spurs, that doesn't surprise anyone on Earth because they have someone who is not from Earth. And then the Bulls and the Thunder, that shocks no one either. They've had obviously some close games, but the Thunder are undefeated at 3-0. All right, so what team jumps out to you about Boston, Brooklyn, New Orleans, Indiana, and the Rockets? What jumps out to you there?
Well, I will just slice in the middle. I'll just kind of cover 3 storylines there. I think the Celtics clearly can snap out of that before anybody else. I would say they're the team mostly there that's a little shocking that they're 0-3, but you know, they've got 79 more games to go.
I'm pretty sure
the Rockets, I think, are just trying to gel and figure out who they are because they got a new nucleus. But the Pacers are they're in a tough spot because we know that they don't have their best player, and they're maybe not have their best player all year. Unless they go to the playoffs, right?
He's dunking already. I live in Indiana, so I'm forced to be part of the Indiana algorithm. The only reason I'm not mad about it is because they are my pick to click this year for my non-favorite team.
And
so
you're a company that you can go there and sometimes see games for free and get paid.
Yes sir.
I mean, hey, I'm taking a group of people to go see the Pacers tonight. Guess what? I'm watching them too while I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
Not a bad gig for sure.
Just yesterday, I had drivers go to the Colts game.
Now, the rest of those guys, I mean, the Nets, and who's the other one? Who's the 5th one?
So there's the Nets, the Pelicans, the Pacers, and the Rockets.
The Pelicans. So I watched the Pelicans. They opened up against the Grizzlies, so I watched that game pretty good. They've got a weird lineup. They just have a weird.
They only lost by 6 against the Grizzlies as well.
Of course, they have Zion, but they've got what's his name, Jordan Poole. I mean, they have just a weird lineup to me. Although Jordan Poole will shoot the ball from half court like it's nothing, and he could dump 40 on you as well. But I just don't know if they'll be able to break out of that slump. I think they're probably going to have a mediocre season. The Nets, I believe, too. I don't even know who the Nets have.
They play the Celtics tonight.
I mean, I really don't even know who the current roster is of the Nets. I couldn't even tell you who their star is at this point.
Oh yeah, dude, who is their
best player? Who's their best player? I don't know, man. This ain't the Starberry days, This ain't Kerry Kittle out there. Like, they ain't been good in a while. So I think it's definitely the Celtics to break out of that. I think Houston can once they figure out who they are. I think right now they're just trying to figure out if KD is going to take over every game or they're going to play like a team. But yeah,
Michael Porter, Terrence Mann, Nick Claxton, those are.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, I don't know. That was a little dicey.
Clowney, I don't know if he's the guy.
It's a little dicey. So
Thomas.
That's what I would say there. I'd say the teams that aren't concerned are Houston and Boston. I'd say as far as the other 3. I think that's concerning. I think they're going to have good seasons just based on that lineup in New Jersey, and then based on what I saw with the Pelicans. I know that they played the Grizz tight, but the Grizz got blown out the next night by the Heat. So I mean, and then they pulled off a win against Indiana, who is yet to win.
I watched that game. That was Saturday night, and I watched that game actually along with the Michigan State game and the World Series, I believe, is what I watched Saturday night all together, like at a bar. And I was impressed with the Grizzlies. I do have Jaren Jackson Jr. on my fantasy team. And
once the Grizz get healthy, like they have a lot of stars out. I mean, they've got Brandon Clark, Scottie Pippen Jr., who is a fantastic backup, and even when he's in there starting, I mean, you talk about a guy who has exceeded his expectations in the league by far. I've said I know you may probably feel, Gary Payton Jr. had his moment, but I don't think any son of a superstar, and when I say superstar, I mean, let's be real, we can have the debate all day long, but Scottie Pippen was an absolute superstar. I don't think any other son has done better than Scottie Pippen Jr. in the NBA at this point. So they're missing a lot of players.
Ronnie's probably close.
You're right. He's right up there. And then speaking of, the Lakers had Scottie Pippen Jr. on their roster. It's decided he wasn't worth keeping, But hey, man, I'm not making decisions in LA. Scottie Pippen Jr. may have thrived in Memphis. Maybe he doesn't somewhere else.
I like him a lot. I really do.
I like his play, man. I love how he plays. He's fearless, and he will take the shot. If he has to take the game winner, he'll take it. He has no fear, and he has nothing to lose. Right? Nobody expected him to be who he is at this point. So he's playing with house money, as they say. But so I think when the Grizz get healthy fully, we're going to see a different team. I mean, Zach Edey is out there setting screens for Ja, and then able to open up Jaren Jackson, because that's part of the problem right now. Jaren Jackson is still getting 5-6 blocks a game. He's averaging about 20 and 10 at this moment. So I mean, he's a superstar. Even Caldwell Pope, coming off the bench, he's enjoying his role in Memphis. I don't know if you saw the quote that he had about, everybody told me I'm going to Memphis, I better stay strapped, I better watch my back and all this. And he's like, I've played in a lot of cities. He's like, Memphis is pretty safe compared to some of the cities I've played in, so he's enjoying his time there. So I don't know, man. A lot of people I follow when it comes to Grizz beat writers and things. Sharon Brown is one of them. She's great. She's one of the covers the Grizzlies, and she does a great job. And she's always throwing out there, hey, support your local independent sports columnists. Stop paying attention to the national media. I love that about her. And she said, from before the season even started, she's like, from top to bottom, this might be the best roster, the Grizz has had since their existence. And, so we'll see. I mean, of course, I'm a homer, but I think when they get healthy, they're going to give some teams some fits. So I don't know how good they are right now. So which means I don't know how good the Pelicans or the Pacers are. I mean, so we'll see. I did see the starting lineup of Indiana is very weird at the moment, though. I mean, it's very weird. Pascal is really the star. And I don't know if he can carry a team by himself. I think he always needs to have another guy with him to carry the load as well.
All those guys need to step up. Mathurin, they just all need to score at least 3 points a game more. All of them. Obi Toppin needs 2 more. They just collectively, and they need to get McConnell back because he is a spark plug. They'll be okay, is my thought. But yeah, you're right. It's just weird right now. It's way too early. We're, what else is there to talk about for the NBA? I want to talk through that a little bit.
Sure.
The teams that have yet to lose, though, that are on my radar are the Sixers and Bulls. And the Sixers, man, that rookie they have, he said that he lived for 7 months without electricity or something, and that he's never going back and he's gonna make it, and he dropped 30 points in his first game. And it's okay, well, I don't care who you are, you don't assume that even Cooper Flagg is gonna get 30 points in his very first game, and that the next game he's still going to produce. And it's whoa, wait a minute. That's a steal of the draft then, obviously. So, I mean, if he's going to be good and they're going to be healthy, then actually the Sixers are going to be way better than what anyone thought.
Well, talking about those rookies too, I mean, even, should have mentioned it when we were talking about that Pacers game, but, Cedric Coward looks like a man built for the job. And I'm just wondering, I know they're going to go a little light with Cooper Flagg from the jump, and they're going to just kind of gel him in and all that. But I'm wondering if the Grizzlies might have sniped there, because you remember they traded up in that draft. They targeted him. They wanted him. And Bro comes in and just drops 27, I think 6 and 5, 6 for 6 from 3. And he wasn't struggling to take the shot. He's out there just draining them. So I don't know, man. He looks good. He had that crazy field goal percentage in college. It was just unreal. one of the highest field goal percentages ever. And everybody's like, oh, well, he's taking shots by the basket. It's like, well, he just dumped 6 from 6 from the NBA 3-point line. So say what you want, So it'd be interesting to see how some of these rookies stack up, because we just automatically assume Cooper Flagg is going to be Rookie of the Year, but that doesn't mean that he is just because we think he will be,
Right.
We've seen it before. So I don't know. Of those teams, though, the Sixers is definitely surprising. I think the Bulls have a good squad. Their fans are a little giddy.
Okay.
And I like that kid as well, man. Josh Giddey. I like him. I like his play. So I mean, I think the Bulls have a pretty good squad. Sixers is kind of weird. Of course, we know Spurs. We've already talked about that. Like, we think Wemby's the favorite already for MVP, and Spurs are definitely going to make a deep run. So is that the only 3? Is it just 3 that's undefeated?
So the ones that, I mean, come on, the Spurs and
Oklahoma.
We don't need to talk
sure.
about, and the Spurs we don't need to talk about. That those are the obvious ones. So those are the only ones. There's only 4 total. So obviously, out of the 4, the Spurs and Thunder aren't worth mentioning. That's why I mentioned the Bulls and the Sixers.
But I know Embiid's on some minutes right now. I know he's on some limited minutes. So, I mean, maybe Philadelphia actually has a good season.
Yeah, if he can get healthy, because he looks tired and slow. I don't know if they can get that right, and Paul George can get going and get healthy.
They still got Maxey, right? Don't they have don't they have Tyronn Maxey or whatever?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I mean he's a good player. So I mean they've got a good core, and they've got my boy from Auburn, Johane Broome. I don't know if he's definitely not starting, but hey man, good guy to come off the bench.
Yeah, Drummond off the bench. I mean, they get Paul George healthy. They have Eric Gordon that can still every once in a while get you points. They got Kyle Lowry still. I mean, those guys, they're old. I get it, but they are NBA players and can help out a roster with Maxey and with this rookie Edgecombe, and I mean Quentin Grimes. Yeah, Embiid. Yeah, they have a squad if it's healthy and they're can get it rolling. So we'll see. So speaking of undefeated, I wanted to give you some new information that I found out over the weekend. That we talked about my fantasy team and the idea of these categories that you can win matchups for. Again, this is counting 6 days at a time that you play your opponent over 6 days. Like, that's part of it. But they're categories that you can win: points, rebounds, field goal percentage, 3-pointers made, assists. And there's 8 of them. So you can win 6 of the categories and lose 2. Well, I was saying that at the time I was 8-0. I was up 8-0. As of today, it's over. We're on to the next week. I did pull it off. So what that means, though, it is so not a thing that happens very often. I actually get $20. The buy-in was 50. So I've already made over 50% or almost 50%.
So there's weekly payouts.
Yeah, if you win your matchup 8-0, you get paid. I'm like, I didn't even know that. In the first week, boom.
So there's only you only get a payout if you go 8-0. It's not. Yeah,
and I'm the only person in our league that did that.
Gotcha.
So
how many teams are there in the league?
10
teams. So there's the possibility of 5 players a week going 8-0. I mean, that's not going to happen, but there's the possibility. So would every person get $20?
Or
do you all split the 20 and you get like $2.50?
Because here's what's kind of cool too. You know who makes the payout? The guy who lost 0-8.
Oh, okay. I thought it was probably like a commissioner pool. You're taking the buy-in, you're splitting it all up. Okay. So it's more of a, if you're joining this league, you might be coming a little bit extra out of pocket. So if you get your ass kicked and embarrassed, you got to pay up.
Which I've caught on what to do. Hopefully these guys aren't watching. So here's the deal. I did this with Aaron Gordon, who went 8 for his first 8 from 3-pointer and dropped 50 points. Remember that game? I picked him up right before tip-off. So what I do first is you look at the waiver wire. If you're first which I don't understand how that works. Sometimes I'm first, sometimes I'm fourth, whatever. But if you're first, you can pick up a player just real quick looking at, okay, this guy's playing, and I have like pods from Golden State, or say Lou Dort from Oklahoma City. Someone that's like expendable, that if you drop, you could probably
Yeah,
pick them up later because no one's gonna like
yeah.
grab them. So
You have
I
to
do
have those
that.
guys. You have to have
So I do
expendable players.
that and find a player like Con Knuppel, the rookie who played at
Mhm.
Duke with Cooper Flag. He's with the Hornets. If Lou Dort is off on a Monday and Con Knuppel is playing, I'll drop Lou Dort and go get Con, right?
I feel
And
like you're just calling me a bunch of names here, like a dork, and calling me nipples. Like, what are you, these real players here, or are you just making fun of me? Very confused.
I wanted to see what I could get away with before you knew. Yeah. So so I feel like I'm the only one in this league because you can see transactions, and you're allowed 6 of these. And I looked it up.
Six,
It's
six,
called,
6 a week, though, right? 6 a week,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
called
Okay.
it's called streaming. I looked it up. What I'm doing is called streaming. You just stream players.
Hmm.
And I feel like I'm the only one that does it because you look at another roster and it says 0 out of 6, which means they didn't make any drops.
Well,
And
I
then on
mean,
mine it says 6 out of 6. Like I'm doing it almost, every day.
that's
I'm
the
like,
same
dude, I'm
thing.
gonna win this league very easily.
I mean, some people practice that in fantasy football. Some people don't. I mean, everybody has their own playing style. But I mean, that's kind of the same thing. Like, if you don't lock in with a top 5 defense, you're probably more than likely streaming your defense each week. Like, you're gonna
Yeah, I definitely do.
pick a matchup. But the thing, though, in fantasy sports, and especially fantasy football, is you get these people who think they're just experts, right? And they're like, from top to bottom, I am stacked every position. But guess what happens? They have no expendable player. They have that one roster spot that they can't debate on. They're like, I don't want to drop this person. I can't drop this person. But you got to have that flexibility, like you're saying there, like the ability to be like, okay, well, nobody's going to pick up this guy, so I can go ahead and drop him and go ahead and pick this guy who has a better matchup right now, especially in basketball, because, I mean, let's be real, like, that's the whole point of basketball. It's all about individual matchups. It's not about team matchups. I mean, it is, let's be real, but if you can find a individual matchup to exploit and the guy's on waivers and you know that it's going to be beneficial for you, of course you're going to drop your dorks and your nipples, I mean, let's be real.
And if you can get lucky with like having a guy like Austin Reeves, did you see what he did last night? 50
No, but
got a 50 burger.
That's what I was going to say. I knew I saw some highlights where he was tearing it up, but the game wasn't over yet. But I tell you, I like to hate on the guy. I do, because I say he's like the brother from Wedding Crashers, when it's like paints the picture of like Vince Vaughn, like he just looks just like him. I remember the first time I saw him, I was like, who is this nipple dork, and he's an exciting white man. He's an exciting white. He I think does get invited to the barbecue, and he doesn't show up with raisins in his potato salad. I think that he is a real exciting white, and he surprised me. So I have to give him props, man. I want to. A couple years ago when he popped on there and they were making like the big 3 was, him and AD and Braun. And I'm like, how is he?
That was a joke. Yeah, that was a joke.
But I mean,
hey, 50 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists with a 50 piece is a little bit unheard of.
He messed around and almost got a triple double.
Almost, yeah. But first player to do that since 1963. And you're a Laker, that's a big deal. So
how many threes he hit?
Sheesh. I don't know.
Probably like 10.
I mean,
I
you would think
Steph Curry out there from the arc. I mean, from the logo.
And he probably had to, because Luka is out at least a week with a finger and leg and his leg. So
those are 2 important pieces for a basketball player: is their finger and their leg. They need
6
both
3-pointers.
6,
and including the 500th of his career. So,
hey man, if he wasn't a Laker, I'd give him more props. But since he's a Laker, I'll just, I've seen better. Nah, nah, good. That's good, man. Good for him. Like I said, he surprises me. He has exceeded his shelf life as far as I'm concerned, and he is making teams wish they had him. You know, and
Yeah.
Braun's not even playing. Braun's not even playing. So it's not like he's feeding off of the double teams or whatever. And AD's not there. So I mean, it's not like he's just the third man that's left out there open. I mean, he's creating, really scoring. So
Yeah.
Although
I
again, man,
wonder.
kiss of death. I did say that Luka might be a dark horse MVP, and what does he do? He gets hurt. Mwah,
And you got to play, what, 70, 65 games? I don't know what we'll have to look that up. In order to win awards, they changed it in the NBA. You have to play X amount of games because everyone's taking all these games off, and they're like, well,
Yeah, that load management stuff. I mean, I know we rag on LeBron for a lot of stuff just as sports fans because obviously we grew up watching the golden era of NBA. I know these kids today, all they know is LeBron and Steph Curry and stuff. And granted, you may not even be a Steph Curry fan if you weren't a Warriors fan. You might be like, oh, gets on my nerves, like me. Like I think he is the reason why when I go watch like any kind of, when my son was playing basketball, he's not anymore, but when he was, I would see some older kids playing and stuff before, and everybody's trying to shoot threes from half court, and that's because of him, because they all love Steph Curry. So I get it, same reason why when you throw the water paper in the trash, you say Kobe, So I get it for sure, but I feel like, I just feel like the game has changed so much, so it's like I can't, really like fault for everybody kind of loving that route. But the load management thing, to me, this is my biggest take on it. There are a lot of NBA fans who, and it goes with saying all sports fans, not just NBA, but they, sometimes have to work up to save the money to see the game they want, and they have to travel, and they may get the closest seats that they can afford, and it may be the only NBA game they've ever been to, and they want to see LeBron, or they want to see Kawhi Leonard, or they want to see their favorite star, and then the time comes and it's like, oh, they're taking the night off, and it's just like, that is so disrespectful to the fan. Disrespectful to the fan, because the fan's not there to see your backup. Like, no offense to Austin Reeves, people aren't spending their hard-earned dollars to see Austin Reeves. They're spending their money to see LeBron James, Like when Lakers would come to Memphis, Memphis fans, like, hey, they love the Grizzlies, but they want to see LeBron, and they may pony up to get near courtside seats. And what happens? Oh, LeBron's not playing tonight because he had to play an overtime game last night. Like, that stuff really frustrated me. So I'm glad they're really putting some stipulations on that now, because it's like, hey, if you want to really qualify for awards or bonuses or whatever, you got to get your ass on the court. So
LeBron didn't play because he wiped his hairline on someone's jersey. My bad. That was Jaylen Brown, I think. What?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And yeah, just the whole concept, load management. Like, what do you mean load management?
Well,
is that,
and then
you talking about a kid's diaper there? Are you talking about your kid's diaper, or are you talking about a grown human? Okay. My God.
Greg Popovich, I loved Greg Popovich. He would troll the NBA. He would do it on a primetime Saturday night game on ABC with Mike Breen on the call. Like, it was like the hardcore, like the game of the week. And the Spurs would sit two members of their big three. So no Ginobili and no Duncan. And you got Tony Parker trying to do too much. The Spurs lose by 6. And you're like, what is happening? This is the Saturday night game. Warriors versus Spurs. And Popovich is like not having it. Like, he's like trolling the NBA. Like, that was always so funny to see.
I know,
like,
man.
Come on, dude. What are you doing?
I mean, and you coach basketball. You played basketball. I mean, if you're a professional basketball player, is 82 games a lot? No, not at all. You know what's more tiresome than playing 82 games? It's just the traveling back and forth and the planes and just dealing with all that. That's more work than it is.
I get like the back-to-backs and then traveling and then still going up to Portland and having to play or something like that. Like, I get it, because then you got games getting fixed if you're in Portland, obviously. So that's really tough. But
you got to watch out for the mafia. Got to watch out for the mafia up there,
Watch out taking yourself out of a game. So, all right, I want to shift gears to a few 8-0 teams, and I'm going to read you the college football teams that are 8-0. The list is small, but the list is interesting, and we got to talk about this. So, the following teams are 8-0. BYU, Georgia Tech, Texas A&M, and the Fighting Hoosiers
clearly
of
not
Indiana.
Texas. Clearly not Texas, but
No.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M and the Fighting Hoosiers out of the great state of Indiana. So again, that is Indiana, Texas A&M, Georgia Tech, and BYU for your bingo card. How you doing? What?
Yeah, that is like round 32 in March Madness, really, is what that is.
That is not even football, dude. Like,
yeah.
Jimmer Fredette, didn't he go to BYU?
I think so, yeah.
So,
but I mean, they kicked their quarterback off for having sex with people before he was married. I mean, I know everybody has their standards, but my God, man, you probably should have. Well, why? Hey, maybe they need to kick him off because they're undefeated. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they might not be undefeated with him. But I will say about A&M, I don't know if you saw this for our listeners and viewers out there. You can hop over to the Sports Idiot Nation page because you'll be able to find the post there. But LSU had this post before the game about like the drone show. Have you seen this?
yeah.
Okay, they're like, enjoy the drone show, a halftime drone show, whatever. Texas A&M then reshares it and like, we enjoyed the drone show so much, and they took the picture to Photoshop just a giant L in the sky with the drones. I was just like, once again, man, SEC social media never. Well, it's not even just SEC; it's college football. I think college football social media is the best. Pros will go back and forth and jab each other, but not like colleges. They will just troll each other so bad. And it's probably because they got students and stuff running that stuff, but I thought that was hilarious,
Oh yeah. And just hours later, Brian Kelly gets the boot.
Hey, what did we say? We said it multiple times in the past, like 4 episodes. He is clearly the next SEC coach to get canned. I mean, we have
over a $50 million buyout. I think
well documented.
I think we'll find out more details. I mean, this is pretty early, Friday morning, but or Monday morning.
He's headed back to to coach softball.
Yes, that is part of following us on social media as well. Is you will see that we have shared that's we're pretty sure it did get leaked, that we have inside information that we know where he's going back to coach softball. That is so ridiculous.
I didn't know he ever coached softball. That's hilarious. Everybody's just like, oh, I'm just going to bring up some. I think we can get a picture of Brian Kelly here so I can make some memes. Oh, look, it's Wikipedia. Let me take a look. Holy shit, he coached softball? What? I mean, Cincinnati, failed at Notre Dame, failed at LSU. I mean, my God, man. Again, like we said, nobody does more with less. I mean, nobody does less with more than Brian Kelly.
So, man, I'm looking at Texas. They're not even in the top. They're not even in the top 2 for their own state. I mean, you got Texas Tech is better. Texas A&M obviously is undefeated, and Texas somehow 6-2 with a pretty bad season. That's like that 6-2 feels more. It's awfully like 4-4 vibe. Like it.
Yeah. Well, and for sure the arch let down, and I don't know how severe his injury is, but now he's injured. So,
yep, he's getting crushed for that. Oh, Tom Brady would never take himself out of a game. Well, he was concussed, so let's calm down. What do you like? What do you want? He's the reason they won the game, by the way. Like he did play well, but no.
Look at that! Look at this guy. He doesn't even know what planet he's on. Why is he not out there?
Tom Brady would know what planet he's on.
Was that not another teen movie where they're skewing the Varsity Blues, where guys like just keeps getting concussions, got like blood coming out of his ears. Yeah. And the coach is like, get up on that field, boy, get back out there. He's had like 12 concussions in the same game. Like that's how some of these sports fans are. They're like, oh, what are you doing? I mean, granted, it is Texas, man. Those people are rabid fans. I mean,
That's
all
what
love
I'm saying.
our teams.
It's weird. It's weird in Texas that the Longhorns. It's not debatable. They are the third, maybe best
And
team. They're definitely not in the top 2. That's crazy.
in Texas Tech, they were like, all right, you think we deserve to slip that bad? We're going to show you. I mean, they almost put up 60. I think there was a shutout too, right? It was a complete shutout. I don't even think they allowed a field goal.
Crazy.
You know, and that to me in the sports world, that goes a long way to me. When you hold a shutout in college football, because it's so hard to do no matter who you're playing. I mean,
So many athletes,
even the crappiest teams can still score a touchdown here and there. And when you shut out a team, you're making a statement. And I think they were just all like pissed off, and they're going to show, hey, we deserve to be right back in that playoff hunt and right back in the conversation. I mean, yeah, they're not Ohio State or Indiana or one of these other teams that have been there for a while, but I mean, Texas Tech is still a damn good team. So.
Yeah,
and old Memphis popped in there. I mean, Memphis could be undefeated if it wasn't for that
7-1,
that black eye of the Blazers. Like,
yeah,
that's gonna haunt them. Like, yeah, Memphis, you look good. We see you there finish out the season with only one loss, but do you remember who you lost to?
Yeah, do you remember it was a bunch of nuns from?
Yeah, just
blind?
fired their coach. A couple hours before. Yeah, not a good look, but
definitely not. Sorry, Memphis J.
But yeah, BYU, Texas Tech. I mean, of course, we know Indiana and Ohio State. We know how they're doing. So, but who else? Are we missing somebody else there? Who's the other school you mentioned that's undefeated?
So, did you say BYU?
Yeah, so BYU, Texas Tech.
Which, gosh, BYU is so random.
They're not Texas Tech, right? Because what am I talking about? Not Texas Tech.
A&M.
Yeah, Texas A&M. Yeah. That's what we're talking about. I don't know who they're. Georgia Tech. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is a weird one.
Random. Yeah.
I mean, they kind of popped out a couple years ago and were like, hey, we're good at football again, if ever. I mean, I don't know. They were never that good. Maybe in like the 1913s or something. But again, like they played Georgia tough a couple years ago. What was that? A 6 overtime game. I mean, they've been there. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out.
I mean, they beat Wake Forest by 1 point. And that's not, you wouldn't think Wake Forest is all that great, but they played Virginia Tech and beat them 35-20. At Duke won, just beat Syracuse. They beat Clemson earlier in the year, but we thought that was kind of a big deal, but we realize now it wasn't. They opened the season at Colorado, beat them by a touchdown, 27-20. Like, they're not like crazy great wins. However, by this point in their schedule, they've usually lost about twice, maybe 3 times. So the fact that they're winning all these games, you can't penalize them just because you're like, who have they played? Well, who do they ever play? And they're never undefeated at this point. So like, at some point you do have to say like, okay, well, let's see how it goes. Now, their schedule does not get really hard until they play Georgia November 28th on a Friday, because they play North Carolina State, Boston College, and Pittsburgh before that. So they have a chance to be 9, 10, 11, and 0, which is nuts for Georgia Tech. And I think they will be 11 and 0 based on who they're playing. And then that game against Georgia will be the real deal, but they'll be super confident, obviously. If you're 11 and 0 playing anyone in the country, at that point, you got to feel pretty good.
And I haven't seen many of their games, but I know that they were running, they had it seemed like almost like an option offense for a while where they would just run the ball down your throat nonstop. I don't know if they're, I don't know if that's changed much. Absolutely. It doesn't matter who you're playing, man. If you keep the best players on the team on the bench, because you're controlling the clock, it's tough to beat them. That's the team strategy to try to beat Patrick Mahomes. It's the best way you beat him is keeping him on the bench. So, I mean, that applies to college as well. But one thing that you mentioned, is like, well, who do they play? Like that too is a silly argument for me a lot of times, because you can only play the teams on your schedule. I mean, they don't make their schedule. I mean,
and normally when they play
players
them,
players don't.
They're not undefeated. They're not undefeated every other year that they play those same teams. Mm-hmm. So, and now they are. So what are you talking about? Like, So
we'll see down the stretch how good they are. I mean, of those 4 teams, who do I think has the best chance to keep it going? It's probably A&M, just because they have a battle-tested conference. Doesn't matter who you're
Well,
playing in the SEC. I mean,
I'll
we
argue
can.
IU. You ready for the
No, no,
schedule?
no. I'm not talking about IU and Ohio State. I'm just talking about of the Georgia Tech, the BYU, the A&M. I'm just talking about those guys. BYU,
Yeah.
I don't know if I really buy into it. Again, Georgia Tech could surprise us, but I just think if I'm putting my money on any of those teams to keep it rolling, it's probably going to be A&M.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I say I bring up IU because at Maryland, at Penn State, and they finished the year at home against Wisconsin, who barely has a football team, and at Purdue, which they always
Yeah.
beat Purdue. So it's like, holy cow! I mean, those 4 games you should be 12-0. You really should,
I
and
mean,
throw the whole season away if you're not.
but
Literally throw the season away.
this brings me back to my argument about, we talked about it last year on the program about the playoffs, and now that the playoffs are here, and now the playoffs are here, and that they have started to try to figure out the nuances of how to seed and how to get it correct. Should we do away with conference championships? Because is it fair to make Ohio State and Indiana play each other 1 week before they have to go play? Well, not 1 week. We know there's a little delay, but you know what I'm getting at. It's like they just don't mean really anything anymore. Who wants to be crowned or cares about conference champion when you have the ability to be a national champion? I mean,
tell
I
Notre
just
Dame they
don't
don't
know.
mean anything. Tell Notre Dame that. It hurts
Good
them.
point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Just saying.
That's a good point.
Look,
But I mean,
here's
it's
why
just
I want it. No, here's why I want them. I want to see good football, bro. That championship game
you
is a
do.
good football game to watch.
It
If
is.
it's
It is.
Auburn,
But
Alabama, you're not watching that? I mean, what are we talking about?
well, I mean,
It's
it's
a
not going to
good
be
game
Auburn.
to watch.
It won't be Auburn, Alabama in the
But in
championship for a
general,
while.
if it is, tell me you're not glued. Tell me that
Yeah.
you get a divorce before you miss that game.
Yeah, but the deal is that's still a historic rivalry, Iron Bowl. I mean, what I'm getting at is, like, let's take Ohio State. Of course, they've been there. They've been Ohio State, but then you have Indiana, who has obviously been up and coming, who is scoring buttload of points.
You don't want to see that matchup, you're saying?
No, I'm not saying I don't want to match it. I don't want to see it. But what I'm saying, as a fan of either of those teams, is it fair to just have your team beat each other up when some of these teams are just going to waltz into the playoffs? Like,
but you
hey, we're just going to go in.
But you don't miss the opportunity to be in the playoffs still. You're still in.
No, yeah, but you have the ability to have your players hurt. I mean, there's so many things that ride on that, because you're that's what I'm getting at, is you're going up against, you want to prove each other, right? You want to prove, okay, hey, Ohio State, Indiana, 2 top teams in the country, they're going to beat each other to a pulp, and then 2 weeks later they have to go back and play other teams that are coming in just like healthy as
no,
can
but
be.
isn't there
That's
a bye?
all I'm getting at.
If you're in the top 4, don't you, or the top whatever? You have a bye, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a couple of weeks in between, but still, I just don't know if it's fair, man, because it doesn't mean anything, is what I'm getting at. In the grand scheme of things, you're like, well, yeah, we're the Big Ten champions, but we got so beat up that we lost in the playoffs. Like, it's like you want to be the national champion. That's my thing. I'm not saying that they need to do away with them. I just don't think they mean anything anymore. That's my take. It's like they just don't really mean anything. It doesn't affect you. You're still going to make the playoffs. Like,
right. So, like, why?
Well, why do we have it?
We talked about the idea of undefeated teams not being a thing anymore. Like, the national championship, those teams will not be undefeated. They'll have a regular season loss. Like, that's just going to start happening more often and more often. The days of us thinking, like, oh, Nebraska 1997, they were 12-0. Like, no, that's not a thing anymore. And we just, but being undefeated is not necessarily what it's cracked up to be. How come the NFL never, since the 70s, have had an undefeated team ever in the 70s? The Patriots were the closest, but they lost the most important game. You're out. So, and I think the NFL's doing quite well. Well.
They make a lot of money over there.
They make some cheddar. So I just don't think college football needs to have an undefeated team. And I hate saying that, because I did enjoy when there was a team that obviously was undefeated, that where it was, when I say obvious, I mean, it's obvious they were the number 1 team. because you just keep playing, and if you win your bowl game and you're undefeated, obviously you're the national champion.
Yeah, I mean there's two sides of the coin, right? Let's use Ohio State, Indiana, right? So they get to battle each other, and hey, whoever wins from that, obviously people are going to say, oh well, this is obviously the better team of the two. But then hey, those teams do get another shot in the playoffs to play each other again. So yeah, you do get to prove your argument for sure. Like hey, okay, we Indiana got a rematch and they beat them, or Ohio State beat them twice. They're clearly the better team. But the other side of the argument is, if those teams are already there, Ohio State, Indiana, it's like, why not take maybe the next couple teams that are clearly on the bubble and force those teams to play each other? And that's the championship. Maybe the top two in the conference are already automatically bid. They don't have to play in the conference championship. And then you take the next two teams that are on the bubble. Okay, Georgia and Alabama, you're going to go against each other, and one of you's going in. Like I just think there's a way to maybe make that conference championship actually mean something. Is my take, instead of just another game where, yeah, it's great to watch good football, but I just think it just, like, growing up, it was, oh man, the Big Ten championship, the SEC championship, this is what it's out. All the marbles on the table. And now it's just like, well, it doesn't really affect the teams that are still going.
Yeah,
that's my take. That's my take. I mean, I'm like you. I want to see good football, but I need to mean something other than just watching a game. Sure, for bragging rights it means something, but as an outside fan, as an outside fan, I'm like, well, what's the point?
What they have to do is find a way to make it maybe where the bye is affected differently, or something where there is a lot of weight that the game holds as far as what the winner gets.
That's a good way to put it. That's my argument. There's just nothing there. There's no stipulation there.
There's not enough weight
to make it meaningful to me as a other than watching a good game. As a fan, I just, in Miles' situation, let's say Miles, like, he has seen Indiana up and coming to him, he's clamoring for it, right? But let's say like an Alabama fan who have seen Alabama win 1 million championships, they're going in that and they're like, oh, great. I'm nervous. I don't know. He doesn't really mean anything. And now Ty Simpson could get hurt. I mean, that's my thing. It's like, make it mean something and make it have some kind of stipulation. And then I think we can reclaim like those conference championships mean something more, but it is college football. I mean, it does mean more just because of the sport, and it's very fan driven. It's very, we have young kids out there playing. They leave it all on the field. How many times you see these kids crying after the games? Like, it does mean everything to them. But from an outside perspective, it's kind of lost a little luster for me.
Yeah, we'll see how it shakes out with these teams that are not just undefeated, but 8-0. So these teams either like haven't had the bye or whatever, and they've played 8 games and they're undefeated. I like Indiana's chances, but we'll see how it shakes out and who is for real. We're gonna find out also tonight if Max Scherzer is for real, because that's their only shot for the entire country of Canada, therefore the world, to have a chance with the Dodgers. I mean, game 1, they came out smoking. And then of course, the exciting Asians, not the exciting whites, but the exciting Asians.
It's the whole league at this point. It's the whole league at this point.
Complete game, giving up 1 run.
Going through the box scores of the playoffs, I was like, oh, another Asian.
Okay,
oh my God.
Cool.
They've taken over the whole game. I mean, good for them. That's awesome.
It's almost like there's a lot of Asians. It's almost like they have a lot of them. There's a lot of people from Asia.
What is it?
It's almost.
Remember the cable guy with Ben Stiller when they're doing those cuts and they're like parroting the Menendez brothers, like, I don't know who killed them, but I'm pretty sure they were Asian. Yeah, they were clearly Asian, Underrated, absolute underrated gem of a movie for those of you who have not seen The Cable Guy with Jim Carrey. And ironically, a late Philip Seymour Hoffman, has a very, very crazy role in it. Weird. You guys play here too?
Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's been in a lot of good stuff.
But
Um,
yeah, is this like we talked? I know we all outside of Memphis J gave him the complimentary gentleman sweep, but was game one the gentleman sweep? Like, are we just going to see
yeah.
four straight now?
Well,
I mean,
now you have the games freaking back in LA. So it's like, oh my God, that crowd is just going to be
mm-hmm.
jumping, like just ready for it. So they got their steal. You always want to just
blame
steal one game.
yeah,
So they stole
blame
their game on the
Canada,
road. Yeah.
blame Canada.
It's almost like I'm just in a real bad spot. I don't want that country to win. I mean, all the teams in Major League Baseball, and we can't have a team from America win it. Like, what are we doing? Like, but I don't want the team from America because that is my worst rival. Like, I don't want them to be a dynasty, which I would have to admit because I was the one clamoring for it in 2014 when we had won 3 World Series in 5 years. Well, I have to say that if that's a dynasty, now I got to give these bums their flowers. And I'm like, I'll just quit the show. This will be
I
my second show I've ever missed. I'll just
I
miss the show.
feel
You guys do it. I don't want
I
to. I don't want
feel
the
very
Packers to win.
I feel very sorry for you that you have to come to that realization that you have to bask in the joy of your team winning 3 World Series and kicking my team out of the playoffs
Hey,
every
the
single year that
Cardinals
you
have
won
one
those
World.
World Series.
The
Yeah, but not since like 2010. My God,
yeah, but you
like
still. I mean, come on, Wainwright and the boys. You still had some good
yeah, I
teams.
like Waney.
Pujols.
We like Waney, and
I like him as a
yeah,
commentator too. He's good.
we've had great players. I mean, the Oz, who doesn't love Ozzie Smith? And come on, a guy comes out and does backflips, like
Well, that's old.
come
That's
on,
way
man.
old. That's way old school. But
I mean,
yeah,
but yeah, dude, Vince Coleman, man. Vince Coleman. I almost bought this when I was last time I was in St. Louis game. This was many years ago. My wife and I went and saw him play the Red Sox. We were on TV. We were actually on ESPN. It was funny. The timing of it, my buddy sent me a picture, and I've got my hat. And my buddy was like, I think Jonathan has given a sign to the pitcher, but Ashley is chugging her beer, and Ashley just happened to be taking a sip of her beer. It clearly looks like she's like, it's a little grainy, but I mean, we're talking, it was like 2013
it
or
was on a
something,
flip
maybe.
phone. Someone sent you a picture from a flip phone, huh?
From a flip phone from their TV. I mean,
Galaxy Edge. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
people weren't taking screenshots then, but I almost bought this vintage retro Vince Coleman jersey off this guy on the street. And dude, it was so sweet, but it was just a little too tight. It was a little outside. It was a little outside.
Was it a
But,
kid size? Because I don't. You're not a
no.
large.
Yeah, no, I think it was just like a medium or something, and it was just like
medium.
Just didn't look right, man. But it was so sweet, man. I love Vince Coleman. He's a very underrated player back in the day, man. Didn't really get the love that I think he deserved. But as Cardinals fans love him, but outside, like you never really hear like people talk about him and what he meant to the team.
Yeah,
Man,
he had a lot of stolen bases, right? Vince Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that name.
Like, a lot of hits, a lot of stolen bases. He was good.
Yeah. What also is good is us. You can find us on social media, wherever you get your social media. Remember also to click the link for our fun t-shirts. Speaking of t-shirts, T.I. is wearing an interesting one today.
Yeah. We the Nashville Wampas here, the local beer league hockey team. They have a couple of them. They've got like a rookie team, and then they've got the regular team. And I don't know if they have an A and a B team. I'm not sure, but they play in two different areas. The Ford Ice Centers. There's two of them in Nashville, one in Antioch, and there's one right down the street from me. And that's where I went a couple nights ago to chat with my pal Brent there, who is the founder. He is the originator of the Wampas team. He's kind of in charge of everything. I mean, he created this logo. He does all their social media.
Kind of a big deal.
He's the manager and the organizer. He handles everything, schedules all the games, like he does it all. And we're going to have him on the show soon to talk about his history, not only with the Wampas, but he's got a really cool backstory. He used to live in New York and used to do a lot of social media for bands and artists, including a lot of rappers, pop stars. He was on the road. He was a roadie for Anthrax.
Wild.
He was building websites like when really nobody was doing it, and he kind of fell into some stuff. He was working for Jive. He did stuff for 50 Cent, all G Unit, Britney Spears. Like he's got a wild story. been at parties hanging with Keanu Reeves. Like, he's just a cool dude, man. And I have somehow finagled him to help me out on the Puck Idiot Nation side of things. And so, he's a big supporter of the Preds, knows hockey inside and out. I mean, I am a fan of hockey and I try to follow it, but I don't know anything about it. Only thing I know is sometimes I watch it and it's like, okay, it's a little bit like soccer. I kind of get it, but
offside.
So looking forward to having him on the show. So shout out to Brent. He's a big Star Wars fan. Obviously the Wampas, that's the whole kind of thing, but I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it's Titans colors as well. So it being local. So I think it's cool. And it's really super cool shirt too, man. It feels great.
Yeah, those are dope.
Same shirts that we use for our stuff. So
okay,
same brand.
The Wampas, I just like that backwards is Satma. I just think that's amazing.
Or you could just stress the A. You could add another S there, and it's the Wamp ass. We like that here in Nashville. We're stuck on that ass.
That is for sure. I'm excited to hear about his story.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. You'll like him a lot, man. And he's about our age, a little bit older than us, but man, we're all in the same vein. Yeah,
the main vein. So
we all came from the main vein.
I gotta go drain the main vein. I was thinking that it'd be fun to hear his origin story and kind of how he got started. But then it made me realize that we're almost 2 years in and we don't have the TI origin story. Like, we kind of know about Titans Idiot Nation and how that goes, and Mr. 35,000, whatever.
I mean, but I know we don't typically do things on the fly, but man, we've got time to get that episode done. We could even do that Wednesday, man. Like,
I think that needs to happen.
Well, we probably need to do it because this heel turn thing, this heel turn thing is really taking a turn. It's taken a turn. The page is going nuts right now. I have split the fan base. The people that get it. The people that don't are just, they're like, what is going on? They are so mad. What is going on here? But I love 28 days. It's been 9 million views. I mean, 9 million views on the page this last month. So
I love to poke a little bit and just kind of insert my comments as a hater, like every now and again. Just, it moves the algorithm, keeps it going, and I have a little chuckle. Worth it, But yeah, so we'll do that Wednesday for sure. New episode.
I warned them all. I warned them last week. I was like, hey, about to take a heel turn. I've been giving you 9.5 years of blind optimism. Now it's time. Yeah, like when Hogan went heel, it was like, Mean Gene, you better tell all these sniveling losers to shut up if they want to hear what I have to say. Like, that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I'm like, all the people are like, yeah, you got the idiot part right. Like, on my last video this week, I called them all morons, told them to get better jokes. Like, that was channeling my Hollywood Hogan to a T right there. And I don't care, man. I don't care. Hey, this may sound cocky, this may sound conceited. I don't care, because when there was a time in my life when I had 1,000 followers and I would care about everything, right? I didn't want to lose a follower, But if you have not picked up on my nonsense now, 9.5 years later, and you can't see what I'm doing, then maybe you're not right for the page anyway. So right. I am teetering at I'm teetering at 36,000 followers. Like, if I lose, 5 or 6, like the last week, I will tell you, when I criticized one Cameron Ward, again, bait and switch post, just out there fishing for people, and they're taking the bait. I lost like 10 followers, and I was like, oh, okay, But about an hour and a half later, I had gained over 55 more, and I'm just like, people get it, Sometimes you got to sacrifice some of the smaller fish to catch the big fish, So
yeah. It's all good. Oh, I love it. Yeah. So we will get into the story of a one Titans Idiot Nation. Remember, new episodes come to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Follow us wherever you get your social media. And so that means we will see you Wednesday. Thank you for watching this episode of Sports Idiot Nation. Remember, we are on all social media and on YouTube, and the podcast can be found on Spotify, and Apple Podcast. Remember, new episodes are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And remember, because you watch Sports Idiot Nation,
you would be the smartest idiot in the whole world.